Well, now that you should be fairly well informed, we're gonna listen to the second song in the single, which is not Everlasting, because as I said, Everlasting is part of the new album. We're gonna listen to Bleed in Chaos, which is a pretty cool title. I've never heard the song, but I'm pretty excited, although it admittedly seems a bit sus that it's precisely 5 minutes long. With Serenade, I decided we're gonna listen to it after the album, because it was released as a studio version after the album in a kind of like compilation album, as I think someone had also mentioned. It's Bleed in Chaos, and then we're gonna start off with One for All for One. I think that's the title. Let's start with the music, shall we? We're like instantly jumping into this Middle Eastern sound. I'm expecting something battle mode like, maybe. I don't know. Oh, here are the trumpets here. I like the drums here. Oh, dude, this makes a really nice use of a certain characteristic power metal, you know, drum patterns and grooves and stuff. It has a certain swing about it, but it progresses through several versions. It's driving, but it feels open, kind of. And here it gets neoclassical. That was a very cool entry. Oh! I'm really impressed. This is like, I don't know if it's the mixing or if it's just the way it's composed, but it has a really good sound. Like how Yamabe is integrated into this and all of it sounds really good. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It has a really badass sound. This is like really old school. The progression to the neoclassical. This is really cool. As I said, I really like the drums here. Is this another song by Junichi? I wouldn't be surprised, right? But I really like how the drums progress here. They have this really cool drive about them. In a really proggy kind of way, you're thrown through all of those different passages. This seems to be the chorus. Yama V, bro. Wow, what the what's that guitar sound? It's partially definitely the mix. The mix is really good in this song. As I said, I'm not an expert, but it just in the way the guitar played kind of a second voice to Yamabi in the end of the chorus there. And yet now this transition, I really like the guitar sound here, definitely. Also what's pretty cool, as we had like in the last song, I talked about like there was not much of an increase in intensity from the verse or from the pre-chorus essentially to the chorus, right? And here, there's almost next to no transition at all. Like we have this little switch from the sound of the verse to something a bit neoclassical, which is really brief. And after that, we're directly transitioning into the chorus. I totally like how they integrate all those different aesthetics. And as I said, like I have to listen to that transition again into the solo. It sounded like really good. This like wah guitar sound in the background, right? Bit of folky vibe to it. Whoa! Are you kidding me? Whoa. Whoa. That was a hell of a transition, dude. That sounded so freaking good. We had this glorious rise to end of the solo and then this swift transition back to Yamabi. It just was really badass, man. And also, it felt really creative to me how they put that together aesthetically, because I think the bass rhythm kind of sounded a bit like folk metal. This bass idea of do 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 do, but just in the way like all of it was put together, it sounded like something completely different, and it had a certain aggressiveness about it. Wow, that was so cool, dude. And Zuki coming in there. This is such a cool transition. Whoa! Whoa! I would be extremely surprised if they didn't have a lot of fun with this song. Like, there's just something very distinct. It just sounds so intense. The guitar and the way he's phrasing stuff, and also like Yuki's section in the solo, it all was really damn cool. And Yamabi sounded totally badass in the song. I'm really surprised that this isn't part of the album, actually. I'll be really glad to add this to my playlist. I don't want to listen to any specific section again, but like, it just want to peak, especially in the last third of the song. Like, from the solo, there was so much cool stuff going on. Shu went totally mental on the song. And like later on, whoa. Those those freaking transitions. I think that's actually what kills me the most, and pretty much everything about the song kills me. I said in the beginning I really like the drums, and I totally do. I like the drum patterns here. The guitar is completely going bonkers. The keyboard, of course, as well. Yamabi is totally going bonkers. Like, I don't know what's going on. And those transitions, they were so freaking huge, and I think there was a certain element of surprise about them most of the time. I think that's kind of what did it to me. Wow. I've looked through the track list of the upcoming album, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of bangers in this album, right? But this might actually be one of my favorites already, and it's not even part of the album. And of course, since this is also new to me, I'm especially curious to take a look into the lyrics, which is what we're gonna do now. So I was just looking if I was still recording, because this is a really fun episode. I wouldn't want it to go to waste. Lyrics glasses mode activated. Somebody out there ready to fight. Out of the light, you'll find another world. You open the door and you will see the battlefield. Now run for your life. You know there is no time to wait. Interestingly enough, we still have this find another world. So it's kind of a transitioning point between the old trilogy and the new story. And it's pretty cool that they put the theme around this transition stage, which was already, as I said, established in My Last Farewell. So they already thought about this beforehand, and this of course connects with the theme of the transitions we had throughout the song, which were like really fluid, smooth, and surprising. I'm also a bit of reminded, I don't know if it was a bonus track. It felt kind of like a bonus track. Let me just look up how the song was called. Yeah, right, it was Under Threat. And I think it wasn't composed by Shu, I guess. And it was a very hectic, kind of fun song. And they also had this theme of like running for your life through the battlefield, which had to me at least, had a bit of a funny character almost. Chaos is coming, you'll slip away. The axe will down and you'll bleed to death. Nobody knows what is right way. You will be left in the danger zone. You don't touch the door and you will see the cruel scenery. Don't give up your fight. You know there is no time to wait. Okay, let me just try to understand this. You will see something cruel which is gonna happen if you don't touch the door, right? Do I understand this correctly? Also, like this almost slasher imagery, the axe will down and you'll bleed to death. In the previous song, we had a sort of element of longing. I'm sad and I want to go to the new world, and this is kind of another side, which is, as it happens now, I don't just want to go forth, but I have to, because otherwise the battlefield will haunt me and I'm gonna bleed to death. Night after night, you'll fear the sound of destruction. Silent night never come again. Now you gotta fight for your life again. Chaos is coming, you'll slip away, the axe will down, you'll bleed to death. Here we have those repetitions. Night after night, you'll fear the sound of destruction. Silent night never come again. And it ends off with, now you gotta fight for your life again. What a cool transition to this new album, into the new story. Like, I'm totally pumped now. This song totally made it for me. You hear a lot of influences, of course, but just the way it was arranged in this song, it sounded very original, even for their own standards. This was a pretty interesting song, let's say that. So again, for everyone who's still watching, my guess would actually be that this might be a song by Junichi, but I'm not sure. We cannot see, in the older albums, it's not noted here who has composed it, but if you know anything about it, I would be very curious about like who was responsible for this. And then, of course, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and see you next week when we're gonna start with the official album.